Hi friends, happy Friday. Today is Friday, September 25th. For our chapter reading, we're reading Riding Chance, and today we are in chapter 19. Let's find out what's going on with Mr. Troy. It was full-blown summer after that. I don't know, something about being out in Fairmont Park by myself that day helped me deal with stuff. Or maybe it was seeing how me being hard was making Chance hard, and me being hard was making Pop sad again. Winston had told me I had to have heart to be good with the horses. I needed it for people too. Real heart, not the phony kind I tried to run down on everybody. Turns out, I didn't get kicked out of the writing program. Me and Pops had to meet with Winston and Dre. Winston said I would be suspended if I broke the rules again. Said that would be a shame because I had a special touch with the animals. I was glad to hear that because I was afraid Alicia told everybody about me and Percy. She hadn't. Pop said I would have to contribute half the money for a new bike, but in the meantime, he let me use his. The toughest part was getting right with Chance. Winston had me taking care of her again, but it was going real slow. Felt like she had to get used to me all over again. I planned to talk to Dre about it because I was feeling lonely too. I ain't gonna lie, I was missing Foster tough. We weren't hanging out because he was doing something with the basketball league, and I didn't mean to, but I missed the block party. Well, maybe I would have caught the last part of it, but by the time I got home from the stables, Mr. Glover was breaking things down so the street would repair to traffic. I saved you a slice of Miss T's blueberry pie, he called over his shoulder when he saw me coming around the corner. You owe me big time. The highlight of the block party was always Miss T's pies. Folks waited all year for them. Thanks, I said, looking around at the balloons that were still tied to the backs of some of the folding chairs. How'd everything go? Great as always. He straightened up and put his hands on his hips. You can still catch up with some of the friends, he chuckled. They're having a little after party over at Foster's. Club Parachute, they're calling it. Club Parachute? So Foster's room was open to everybody now. Used to be the spot was just for us. I'm sort of tired now, I said. I think I'll... Hold on a minute, said Mr. Glover. Let me go get the pie before I accidentally eat it. He stopped to look at me. You okay? He said. Yeah, just tired. I faked a big stretch so he wouldn't keep asking questions. When I wasn't at the stables, I spent most of the time on the internet watching polo videos and reading all about horses. The videos all said you had to have the right attitude. Being slick or mean wouldn't work with the animals. I didn't want to be corny like Dre, but he lived with all the horses. I knew he'd have good advice. I was looking for him the next day, but I just had to stop to watch the polo players doing their stick and ball practice. That's where you ride around the field and hit the ball. It sounds nice and easy, but it isn't. You got to control your horse and practice your swings at the same time. It was hot and the horses were kicking up a lot of dust. Our polo field was dirt, not nice grass like out at Blanchard. All the players looked good, but you could see Jerome was the best. He could hit the ball long distances, longer than any of the other players. They all knocked the ball up and down the field like there was nothing to it, and they all had their own style. Each dude had his own way of showing his stuff, some as in basketball. They ended their practice, and Willie and little Keith walked their horses over to the hose. Jerome and Marcus walked their horses toward me. I wiped my forehead with the bottom of my t-shirt. I wasn't really feeling Jerome. I was tired of all the fronting that went along with being around him, but Marcus saw me and waved. What's going on? He said when he got to the railing where I was standing. I hadn't stopped him. He spoke to me first. Jerome kept walking. Good. I'm looking for Dre, I said. I could help but add, you guys look great. Jerome had already passed, but he had to turn and shout over his shoulder. Better than you ever will. Marcus rolled his eyes and shook his head. Marcus, Jerome said, are you coming or are you going to waste your time with him? Why are you sweating me, said Marcus. I'll catch up with you, he waved to Jerome. Marcus and his horses were both dusty by the shine from his horse's coat, still peeked out in between the patches of dirt. I got to take care of him, he said, looking at his horse. But, I'm going to be leaving soon. I just wanted to tell you to hang in there. I hoped he wouldn't mention the cops. I've seen you and Chance together. You definitely got something going on. Well, we're having some problems now, I said. I'm not worried. You'll straighten it out, Marcus patted his horse. Winston's already counting on you to play at exhibition. I haven't been riding that long. You've got something special, said Marcus. Don't worry. Winston will help you along. Marcus led his horse away. I kept thinking about what he said. You've got something special. That's what everybody kept telling me, but I didn't really know what they meant anymore. Dre was inside gathering up some medicine he needed for one of the horses. How's things going with Chance? He said. That's what I came to talk to you about. Isn't Winston helping you with that? He is, but it's going slow. It all comes down to trust, Dre said. Don't try to rush it. Just be honest with your animal. He checked some papers on his desk before looking back up at me. They don't like ugly. Horses weren't the only ones who didn't like ugly. I didn't either. You're bigger than that, Dre went on to say. Deal with it when you have to, but that isn't the real you. That's sort of what Pops had said. Seemed like everybody went through some bad stuff sooner or later, but you couldn't let it bring you down. I wonder what Jerome had to deal with. Must have been pretty bad to make him the way he was. Well, I said, I found some videos about how to get back with your horse. Check you out, Dre said, smiling. Smart to do your own research. Let me take care of this new horse. She's not feeling too good. After that, I'll have some time to talk. Dre knew the horse wasn't feeling too good. I'm sure he could tell I wasn't feeling too good either. And that was chapter 19. Hope everyone has a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, friends.